I'm gonna get this thing started here in just a second. So obviously, we're gonna be opening up another one of these Kuromi's Cryptid Carnival collector's boxes. There we go. So we already opened up one of these the other night, and we tried to compare the pull rates with the regular Kuromi boxes. We know that there's a slight difference between these boxes and those, that difference being the Hello Kitty logo in the corner. But I don't think we got a clear picture of whether or not the pull rates are different. We pulled one Sanrio 6 from the first box of these that we opened, and then when I opened the regular box, we got the exact same Sanrio 6. But my past experience, I had opened 15 of the regular boxes, only pulled 3 Sanrio 6. So that was a pull rate of 1 per every 5 boxes. So we're going to open this up, see if we can get another Sanrio 6 out of here, and then I'll be more convinced that maybe there's a little bit better pull rates here. What's up, Greg? So I've got a few of these to open over the next couple of weeks. And I'll probably just keep doing them one at a time because it is 2 booster boxes, which will probably be like an hour of streaming. But I do really want to pull the Mothman Secret Rare out of here, so we'll keep trying. I've got a few of them to open, so might as well. And there goes my sign. Damn. All right, so let's get the promos out of here. There's your promos. Just having a few beverages. First day off tomorrow. Nice, Greg. What's up, Balloon Fight? I saw that my last video, I told you guys I was going to post more regular news videos. I saw that my last Metazoo video about this set got quite a bit of traction. I think it got like 1,500 views in the first 2 hours, or the first 24 hours, which is a lot for a Metazoo video. Nowadays, if you've got a Metazoo channel with over 1,000 subscribers and you're getting more than 100 views on a video, congrats, you're one of the biggest channels with Metazoo. Metazoo content is not doing great right now. I appreciate that, Balloon Fight. What's up, Team Rocket Rock? Good to see you again, man. I hope you've been doing well. I'm definitely not one to sugarcoat a lot of this stuff. There's our nice Kuromi box. We'll probably put our bulk in there like we did last time. They are really nice boxes, honestly. All right. So we'll do both these boxes tonight. I actually ordered a few more of these collector's boxes. I have 4 here with me at the house, but got some more coming. Keep cracking them a little bit. At least until we pull the secret rare. Oh, we've already got 19 people in here. We haven't even started cracking yet. That's pretty good. And put a little lipper in. All right. Now we're good to go. I don't want to spend more than $1,000 on these boxes though, because I have a feeling that the Mothman Secret Rare is probably going to end up somewhere around that price range. So I want to try to pull it. And I've already spent $1,000 on the regular booster boxes, but not to mention I wouldn't sell it anyway. I would keep it for my collection, but hell yeah, bro. I'm glad you're doing well. A true OG, Team Rocket Rob and Greg. They've been around for a while. I think I'm going to do what we did last night and open all the Mothman pack arts first. I like that idea because people were saying they saw, or they thought that it seemed like a lot of the Sanrio 6 that they've watched be pulled on stream came from the Mothman packs. So if I open all the Mothman packs in the same go, then I'll be more likely to remember which pack they came from. See if that's true. I think the Mothman pack art is the best of all the pack arts, but I am biased in favor of Mothman. Because as soon as I saw that comment, I feel like I've noticed the same thing. We got 33 in here now, great. Did you hear Magic the Gathering is printing a Mothman? And yes, I actually did, yeah. I know that there's also a Fallout Mothman Funko Pop, right? Kuromi and Chibi Unicorn. Honestly, I don't think we pulled a single one of these in the last stream. And this is, I know it's probably not worth a whole lot. A lot of these holos aren't. But this is probably one of my favorites of all the holos, regardless of what it's worth. I think it looks really good. Just like the Prism Beam. What was the other rainbow card? Dragon of Okanto Falls. I really like the way that the Metazoo holo looks with these rainbow pattern cards. Was here for the first stream and didn't miss. Yeah, Greg, you've been here, yeah, pretty much every one. 10 to 15 streams. I appreciate you, bro. All right, we're off to a good start with this box. Because definitely what I noticed with the last two boxes, aside from the Sanrio 6 that we pulled, the holo pull rate just didn't seem to be that high. So I'm glad to start off with two back-to-back holos. Like, they didn't seem higher than a regular box. In fact, I thought some of the regular boxes that I had, not from the collector's box, had more holo hits than both those collector boxes that we opened. I wonder if we're only starting out with back-to-back holos because we're doing Mothman pack art. A third holo. So far, at least with this box, 3 for 3 on the Mothman pack arts. I don't need to sleeve that. I only sleeve the other two because I might grade those. I might hold on to them and grade them later down the line because right now, the way the market's going, it seems like grading regular holos from any Metazoo core set is almost not even worth it. I was talking about in my video, the news video that I posted yesterday. If you haven't seen it, check it out. But I had over 125 auctions, graded slabs. Oh, there's our first reverse holo. Mostly Metazoo that ended in the last couple of days. And there were a lot of cards that ended for $20 or less, and then a lot of Metazoo cards that ended for $15 or less in a PSA 10. And even some cards in a PSA 9, which, you know, I get that a lot of people probably aren't looking for a Metazoo PSA 9 right now because the market is good enough to just buy the 10. But I had several PSA 9s ending for less than $10 of decent cards, not like junk. Like a good example is Walking Sam, first edition Walking Sam holo. I think one of the better beasties from first edition. Definitely one of the hits. That ended for $10.50 in a PSA 10. So you know the market's getting a little bit scary when first edition holos are not even worth grading. That is actually, that's a decent point, Cheese. It is a good time to grade Metazoo. I don't know if the holiday, I did a holiday submission. I forget if it ends the, is it $12.99 or $13.99 for the holiday bulk special? I don't know if it ended in November or if it continues through December. But I think it was, the card had to be worth $100 or less, which would be pretty much almost any Metazoo card right now, coming from a core set. I feel like I jinxed it because now we're on a streak of reverse hollows. Another reverse. And I'm pretty sure I also had a first edition full hollow Mothman PSA 9, and for less than 20 bucks. And then I had a full hollow second edition Mothman PSA 10, and for 20 bucks. I thought the Nightfall Mothman did a little bit better than I expected. That sold for about 50 bucks in a PSA 10. I sold a PSA 10 Wendigo from Nightfall. That went for about $27. That's about what I expected. But the Mothman did a little bit better than I thought it was going to do. When are you getting a Rudy Crayon Eater? I wasn't crazy about those Rudy Crayon cards. I could really care less about those. I mean, I like Rudy. I watch his channel from time to time, but I'm not like a mega fan to where I care about the Metazoo promo cards that he's had. There's another full hollow. Or like the Rudy's Crayon cards. I just don't really care. Because I'm not into Magic at all, so I only watch really when he talks about Pokemon or Metazoo. And I like a lot of his videos where he talks about like the logistics that go into running a business like he has, or the logistics of opening an LGS or a card shop, and some of like the behind the scenes day-to-day stuff I think is interesting. But most of his content is Magic the Gathering based, so I don't really watch a whole lot of that. Why are we on such a cold streak now? Full hollow, Halloween Parade. I mean, literally, this is what I'm talking about, though. I mean, some people tried to argue that this wasn't a specifically Halloween set. Not only are there cards with masks and pumpkins and trick-or-treat and candy and costumes, there's literally cards in here that say Halloween on the card. Then again, back to that notorious pink box. The pink box has pumpkins on the box. This was definitely meant to be a Halloween set, so I still consider it to be late, the fact that it came out in November. Even though a lot of people defending Metazoo are saying, well, they never explicitly said we'd get it by Halloween. I just got a banger PSA 10 worthy pristine Rudy Claus. That makes me happy. That said, Metazoo is so dead. What'd you pay for it, Lorcana Ohana? This is the Nightmare Before Christmas set. That was good. That was good. So far, getting to the halfway point of this first box. No Sanrio 6. Handful of hollows. Another reverse. Yeah, I didn't buy any of the 6.9 sets from Rudy, the boxed set that he was selling. I kind of have a weird feeling about Metazoo though. Like obviously a lot of people that support Metazoo are kind of in denial about the ship being a sinking ship. And a lot of people are trying to make excuses and defend certain things. And I feel like I really feel like it's not ever going to actually completely die. I feel like there's enough of a hardcore fan base, and there's a hollow. There's enough of a hardcore fan base that will always, and that's probably part of the problem, that are always going to buy the pre-orders, always going to buy the collabs, always buy the stuff that ships late. I just feel like the value might not hold very well. I feel like Metazoo is going to be around for a while. It's just going to be a matter of riding out this really low point. And I think it's going to be a matter of Metazoo addressing and fixing a lot of people's concerns. But I feel like even if they stop making cards, if that was what it means that Metazoo's dead, if Metazoo shuts down and they say, okay, we're done, I feel like you could still, there's still going to be like a certain group of people that are going to buy the old boxes or buy the old cards, and there's still going to be a little bit of a collector's base for some of the old stuff. And I feel like even in the near future, if Metazoo did shut down and stop printing cards, that might drive up the value of a lot of the cards. Who knows? But I personally don't think that's what's going to happen. I don't think they're going to shut down and say, okay, we're screwed, we're done, we're over leveraged, whatever. Because I think the good thing about the way they've been doing things and the way that people are complaining about the interest-free loan model of pre-orders. But the good thing about that is that Metazoo is probably never over-leveraging themselves as a company when they come out with these products and sets and stuff. So they're probably not in a whole lot of debt, if any. Because nice, Love and Frogman Full Hollow. Because the secondary market, while it matters, it doesn't matter a whole lot to Metazoo as a company as long as they're not in crazy debt and they're still selling product. If people are still buying it and it's just not going for a lot when those people try to sell it on eBay, I guess it's just a matter of, I think the bigger issue for Metazoo is if they piss off a bunch of these LGSs, like with this TCG Player thing, and the LGSs stop buying product from distributors, and then the distributors can't, move the product that they purchase from Metazoo, the distributors might stop buying from them, and they might lose some of those relationships. And I feel like that's probably the bigger concern, the more immediate concern, I would say, because I feel like a lot of LGSs that are selling Metazoo probably got burned big time on this set, if they hadn't already gotten burned big time on previous sets. Lurkana says, I think accepting that it is currently dead, the game had a moment in the limelight, and ultimately the public has rejected it. It can't even exist as a niche game, but it will never be what it could have been. I mean, it's possible. I don't want to be the guy that's in denial about it being dead, because like I said in my last video, I think it's a sinking ship, if not a ship that's already sunk. But what does dead really mean? Does that mean Metazoo is going to close its doors, never print another product again? Or does that just mean right now the market is dead and the fan base has fallen off significantly? Does that mean it can't come back? Like, what does dead mean exactly? And I saw someone make a good point in the comments of my last video. Someone said, well, if you think about it, obviously Pokemon is a very different example. But Pokemon had a very similar thing happen around the time of like base set 2, when they were probably 4 or 5 sets in. And obviously for base set and Jungle and Fossil, there was like this huge Pokemon mania, and it was the craze. And then it really did have a pretty significant falling off point, but they were able to kind of weather that storm. And again, it's a different example because Pokemon had a lot more mainstream appeal. It had the anime, it had the games, it had a lot of stuff going for it that Metazoo doesn't. So it's not a one-to-one comparison for sure. But Pokemon did have a pretty steep fall off when it was all the rage, and then all of a sudden it wasn't, and it just made it through that storm. But again, it's not a one-to-one comparison because Pokemon had all this extra stuff going for it. But my point is, even if it seems like a lot of the fan base has left and a lot of the interest is gone, the hype has died down. Obviously, Metazoo had a peak, it had a limelight moment, but does that mean they can't make it through this? I think it's going to take a massive change. I think it's going to take probably a change in leadership. I honestly like the idea of maybe a bigger company like Sanrio buying Metazoo and then running things correctly. That's also true with the games that kept growing. Dead means the cards are worthless and no one cares or plays the game, which is the definition of Metazoo. That is true. I don't play the game either. I'll be honest, one issue I see and I hope might be resolved is the inconsistent take on creature designs in the game so far. Pokemon uses reference sheets. That's actually a really good point, to stay consistent. And one thing I was thinking about is what happened to the Arby's collab. Wasn't that supposed to happen like earlier this year? Arby's was like posting advertisements about Metazoo and then nothing ever came of it. That was like a big story that seemed like it might have a little mainstream taste to it. And then we just heard nothing about it ever again. And I don't think that everything they've done has had no effect. Like Topps Chrome, I think that being in the big box stores, it being in bigger retailers, a lot of sports places that sell sports cards bought it because it was a Topps product. Topps Chrome was like the biggest set that Metazoo has had all year. Bigger than Native, bigger than this Sanrio thing. Topps Chrome was like, it almost gave me hope that Metazoo was going to have like another moment. So if they could do another mainstream thing like that, another Topps drop that does really well, even though a lot of the Topps cards have fallen off, a lot of the Topps cards are actually holding pretty decent value relative to what the price of the boxes were. There's a lot of serialized cards in that set that are worthless, yeah. There's still a lot of serialized cards in that set that are holding decent value. So Topps Chrome was one of those sets that kind of gave me hope that maybe they can turn this thing around, because we had like the blister packs of, Seance and Target and like other sets being in these big box stores like Walmart and Target that didn't really seem to move the needle. Metazoo's social media presence hasn't really grown at all with a lot of these big box drops that they've done. But Topps Chrome seemed like a miniature moment to me. And that gives me hope that they could do something similar to that, but how will they do it? I don't know, because Metazoo was already on a pretty steep decline when Topps Chrome came out, and they barely even advertised Topps Chrome. I barely even knew about it when it came out. I forgot that it was even something that was planned, and it still had like a massive impact on the fan base. And I honestly think it really did bring new people into Metazoo, because when I was streaming that Topps Chrome stuff, it was the most viewers I've ever had on a Metazoo live stream. We were I think one stream we had over 200 people watching, which is huge for a channel like this. I think people really saw that at a lot of these retailers that typically sell sports cards or whatever. Maybe they saw it at Target. And I think it really did get a lot of people's attention. Another reverse. And I mean, worst case scenario for me, I've been kind of selling into the market. So I've been opening stuff as it comes out, grading it immediately, selling a lot of it into the market. I do have a lot of stuff that I've kept in my personal collection, but it's not stuff. The only thing that was like a really major investment for me with Metazoo was buying that one of one Mothman. That was like the only, that's one of the only things I think I'll really lose money on if Metazoo goes down, like just completely tanks. But overall, I think I've done a pretty good job of like selling into the market as it goes down, kind of breaking even, making money. And I've had some really big sales of stuff where I was up. So even if Metazoo tanks, goes to zero, I personally don't feel like I'm going to get rug pulled as long as I don't, as long as whatever, like if they did close their doors and stop selling cards, whatever that last set is, as long as I don't go too heavy into that. I mean, it would suck, obviously, if a lot of the stuff that I have becomes worthless. But I think if they did shut down, the collector base for those specific cards that I have in my personal collection, I feel like would probably still be there. And they'd probably become more desirable because then you know there's never going to be another version of that character printed by Metazoo ever again. So the people that liked Metazoo, which are probably the same people that are the big buyers now, will probably still stick around. Yeah, and the cryptid factor of Metazoo. That's what got me interested in it, is when Cryptid Nation First Edition was about to come out. So I had just missed Kickstarter in 2020. Then I heard about Cryptid Nation, and I was doing some research on what is this Metazoo thing, what's it based on. And then the Mothman, which is like the big fan favorite character, is from Point Pleasant, West Virginia, which is about 2 hours away from me. And then like the second most popular character in that set, aside from Sam Sinclair, the second most popular cryptid or beastie in that set was the Loveland Frogman. And I live about 20 minutes away from Loveland. The Loveland Frogman was something I heard about growing up. They've got the Loveland Castle in a lot of their comic books and storyline. And the Loveland Castle was a place that I went many, many times as a kid. And that's what got me into Metazoo. So I feel like there's a lot of people that are interested in Metazoo from different, another Frogman. This is definitely a Frogman box. So there's a lot of people that I think are interested in Metazoo because of the cryptid thing, and they've all got their own hometown stories or their hometown cryptid or their state cryptid or something nostalgic to them, because that's what got me into Metazoo, and I feel like that was the same thing for a lot of people. So I think the basis, the idea behind this card game is good, and I think that's what got a lot of people into it. And that's why, if you look at my collection back there, I've got one, it's mostly Mothmen, and half that whole case is all Frogmen. So most of the stuff that I'm going to keep, if Metazoo tanks, is the stuff that got me into it, the stuff that I liked and the stuff that I felt kind of like a connection to, is the Mothman and the Frogman stuff. So as long as you collect something because you like it, and not because you think you're going to get rich on it, I think you'll be fine. Like I said, the only thing that was like a big investment for me was that one of one Mothman. Scaly Schism says, I'll be honest, I'm drawing for the contest, but I'm not really looking for the job. See, that's the other thing too. I'm drawing some stuff for the contest as well. And I think a lot of people feel the same way as what you just said. They're not looking for a job as a Metazoo artist, Full Hollow Chibi Wahila. And that's what it feels like the contest is. The contest feels kind of like a desperate attempt from Metazoo. It feels like they lost all these artists, and now they want to try to find a cheap way to replace them. And I think looking for fans that might be just excited for the opportunity to work with Metazoo, maybe they'll take whatever amount of money Metazoo offers them. It seems like a cheap way to replace the artists that left. And that's what I didn't really like about the fan art thing. But I'm drawing some stuff too. Tanner Toxicity says, Metazoo is such a weird company. So many strange business moves. I agree. Another reverse. I would quit too if they were only paying me $380 per artwork. I mean, I think I said this in a previous stream, but realistically, a lot of these artists, some of them were more established, but a lot of them were really young when Mike commissioned them to do, and I guess that doesn't really mean they shouldn't be paid more as Metazoo grows, but it hasn't really grown. But a lot of the artists that Mike commissioned to do some of these early artworks, like Kelsey Giacchino, she was like 20 or 21 when he first commissioned her. So if he was paying them $400 a sketch for a starting out artist that maybe is in college or just graduated, it's really hard to find good work, consistent work as an artist, because it's such a, I mean, it's just such an artistic and very kind of independent contractor type of career. That's actually pretty good money, but relative to the amount of money that Metazoo made off those sketches, yes, there's a pretty big discrepancy, but honestly, as a starting artist, that's not bad money. And again, granted, a lot of the artists were more established than that. But especially now, I mean, with AI, it's got to be really tough to make it as an actual artist that's doing physical drawings and physical paintings and physical sketches, when you can just type anything into AI and it'll give you whatever image you want now. It's got to be a really competitive marketplace if you're an artist trying to find work. So it's really hard to comment on whether the artists were compensated fairly or not. And I honestly think that the artists that show up to like the Collecticons and the Mothman Festival that will sit and, you know, sign cards and do sketches, I think they make pretty good money at those festivals. I think they make thousands of dollars in cash at those festivals, which is it's a pretty rare opportunity for an artist, especially someone in their 20s. I think they charge, what, $100 per sketch card or signing or whatever. And at the Mothman Festival, me and Chris, we went together. We were going to get some stuff signed, and the line was so long, we didn't even bother, because it was, I mean, there were so many people there for that. Oh, we got Isaac Lee in the chat. So Isaac, I'm curious, can you comment at all on why you left? Did you sign any type of NDA? Did you agree not to say anything? I'd be really curious to hear the artist perspective. But if you can't, I totally understand. I'm just totally curious. If you guys don't know, Isaac is one of the ones that left with the recent situation. Lorcana says Mike is up to no good. I thought we could pay with coins per signing. I've never had anything signed, so I never try. I don't know. I've never paid with coins. Jesus. Is that the 5th Loveland Frogman we've gotten out of this box? I mean, I'm not complaining, but... By the way, shout out to Isaac. This has been an Isaac box. Isaac drew this card. That's kind of funny that Isaac is the artist in the chat, and this is the only card that I put in a card saver this whole stream, is all these Frogmans that we've been pulling. So shout out to Isaac. We got 4. I don't think Mike ever really clarified exactly what stepping back meant for him. I'm sure he still is the majority owner. So even if he's not as publicly involved, I'm sure he's still calling a lot of the shots, and everything's probably still run by him. A lot of love for Isaac in the chat. Jesus Christ, man. There's the fifth Loveland Frogman. As Isaac left another comment. I'll read Isaac's comment in a second. Another Isaac card. 5 frogmen in one box. That's interesting. So no Sanrio 6. Isaac says it's not as simple as not enough money. That's what he can say. Part-time pay as a promised full-time artist is sad. So Isaac, would you say it was bad enough whatever happened that if they offered you a pay increase you wouldn't go back? Like, do you have a sour taste in your mouth from Metazoo, like, as a whole? Was it bad enough that you wouldn't go back if they offered you more money? Was it something you took personal, I guess I should say? It sounds kind of like an Oliver Anthony music song. That's what I was wondering. He's not going back. It goes way beyond money. Well, I appreciate you giving your perspective. I definitely understand that you probably can't say too much. But if anybody wanted to reach out and tell me in private via DMs what happened, I wouldn't make a video about it or ever say anything about it. I'm personally curious. If anyone ever wanted to reach out off the record. I love the community. That's all I can say without breaching. That's what I figured, man. I figured they had you guys locked into something, or else someone would have said something publicly. Because that was the weirdest part about it to me, is that so many people left and not one person had a negative thing to say publicly. I figured there had to be some kind of contractual reason for that. Which in and of itself is kind of shady. All right, we'll separate the Mothman pack arts again. But thank you, Isaac. I appreciate you weighing in. I really do. And we appreciate your artwork too. I guess that is true. Most of the I saw Chris Campman's live stream, and while he did say a lot of positive things about the Metazoo community and about the experience meeting the fans, nothing nothing directly positive about Metazoo itself. So I guess that's true. Oh, don't get me wrong. I've never been a fan of Mike. Ever since I had previously never had a negative experience with him when I first got into Metazoo. He would message me and he'd say nice things and stuff. But the thing that really rubbed me the wrong way, I've talked about this before, was obviously a lot of you guys know I've got a big bodybuilding YouTube channel. I've got the biggest bodybuilding YouTube channel there really is. And I've got connections with Arnold Schwarzenegger. And I came to Mike and I said, look, I've got this, I'm friends with this guy. He runs the Arnold Classic, which is the biggest bodybuilding and fitness expo in the world. It's the biggest, it's way bigger than any Collecticon or anything like that. And I said, look, I talked to him and he said he'd be willing to give you guys a booth at the expo. And he'd also be willing to figure out a way to get you guys a promo card with Arnold's image on it. You could come up with some idea and have an Arnold Schwarzenegger promo card, reach a new audience, and be a part of this event with Arnold Schwarzenegger. And Mike was like, yeah, that'd be great, sure. You know, link me up with him, send me an email. So I got the guy that I know that runs the Arnold Classic, a very big, to me, a very big, important person in the industry that I work in. And Mike ghosted him. He responded one time, and Mike totally ghosted him after that. And that really rubbed me the wrong way, because I kind of went out on a limb to get him this deal. And they were really going to roll out the red carpet. He was like, well, Nick, you vouched for this guy. It sounds like a cool idea. It'd be cool to have an Arnold promo card. It'd be cool to have like a different type of vendor at our event because they have it's mostly fitness stuff, but there's like gym equipment companies. There's some like sports memorabilia companies that show up. And he's like, it'd be kind of cool to have something different. And they honestly, they were going to give him a free boot. They weren't going to charge him because I gave kind of this recommendation and Mike ghosted him. And it made me look bad because I was like, there's this really cool card game I'm interested in. The owner seems like a cool guy. And then my contact emailed him and he ghosted him. And I think it would have been a huge opportunity for Metazoo to reach a new audience because a lot of the people, I would say most of the people that collect Metazoo, probably most of you watching this video right now, are men between the ages of 25 and 35. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm sure most of you in this chat right now probably fit right around that window. That's also the biggest demographic for bodybuilding and fitness is 25 to 35. That's their primary demographic. You could have reached a lot of new people at this event, especially with an Arnold Schwarzenegger card. Okay, anyone that says they're a little older, you're probably still in your 30s, right? And I think they could have done something really cool because there's this, I don't know how familiar you guys are with this. Smoking them grits. How old are you, bro? But with the Arnold thing, there's like this legendary statue of Arnold Schwarzenegger that's outside the venue that they hold the Arnold Classic in every year. And there's a lot of lore, a lot of storyline behind that. I think that could have been a really cool promo card because that Arnold statue was like this big iconic thing in bodybuilding and fitness in Columbus, Ohio. It's like this big iconic thing, the statue, and there's all kinds of stories behind how that came to be. And I thought that would have been a really perfect promo card because obviously you don't just want, Arnold Schwarzenegger as governor or Arnold as an old man on a card. I think they could have done something really cool with that statue on a card that a lot of people would have wanted. They could have had a governor card. That would actually be cool. But yeah, that was the first time that I had a negative experience with Mike. And they had me on their list of like sending me free stuff to open, sending me stuff for my streams. And once I started kind of speaking candidly about Metazoo, I'm not complaining because it really doesn't matter to me. But as soon as I started saying some negative things about Metazoo, I've never received a free product again. And trust me, again, I'm not complaining. I don't care. I don't need it for free. But it was definitely in line with Metazoo banning and silencing a lot of people that have negative things to say. And I felt like that was like my punishment. Arnold riding Mothman into battle. An Arnold and Mothman promo would be sick. I mean, Metazoo just lost lost a lot of trust recently, and they got to get it back soon if they want people sticking around. I agree. Lorcana says it's all a scam. And that's part of the problem. I think a lot of people are like me, And I think I probably am part of the problem in that sense, that we will still continue to buy the stuff because aside from their business practices, aside from whatever Mike has done, I genuinely, truly enjoy opening it. I like the cards. I like the artwork. I like the theme. I like the characters. I genuinely have fun doing these streams and opening Metazoo. That's why I continue to open it. I'm way beyond the point of hoping to make money from it. I just really enjoy opening it. Pull up Mike's LinkedIn and tell me it's not sus. Put me a link in the chat that I can just click really quickly. Hold on, I'll approve you as a mod, Lurkana, and then you can post a link. Oh, I might not be able to do it from this account. Let me see. I'm logged in as Nick Strength and Power. I'm not logged in as Nick Strength and Pokemon. I don't think I can make a mod. Have you heard of a game called the Monster Club? It's made in the Netherlands. They have an awesome YouTube channel. I've never heard of it. I'll have to check it out. What did I just miss? Let me refresh this chat really quick. I saw Argos posted a video, surge in sales, earlier. I don't even feel the need to click and watch. Listen, I've got nothing negative to say about Argos. I love Argos. I think he's one of the most honest and like reliable people in this community. I do think he toes the line a little bit, but I've noticed a lot of his recent videos, especially like a month ago, he had a lot more critical videos of Metazoo. And I think he's talked pretty candidly recently about like why he doesn't sell at MSRP and why he doesn't hold up some of the rules that Metazoo kind of forced upon partners. But I do disagree with his classification of surge in sales. I think that's a very optimistic way of looking at this. Greg said, oh, okay. Thank you, Greg. I appreciate that. I'll click that in a second. Man, this is kind of a cold box. All right, I'm clicking the link. What should I be looking for here? His activity? Mike Waddell, founder of Metazoo Games, Mothman Collectibles, New York, New York. 1,000 followers, 500 connections. I definitely do really like Argos, though. Even if he toes the line a little bit. I've also seen Umu's videos. I still prefer Argos. Because like I said in another fucking reverse holo. Like I said in my video, obviously for Metazoo being as small as it is, if they sold almost 200 of these by cutting the price in half, that is 400 booster boxes in a period of days, which for Metazoo is a decent amount of volume. But again, TCG Player had an initial stock of 7,000 of these boxes. That's what they're sitting on. That's what they're sitting on. And I think that's what they thought they would sell out of for $300 a box. They only sold 500. They barely moved the needle on their inventory with the price that they thought it would be. And if you look at it realistically, yes, it was a lot of booster box sales relative to the Metazoo fan base. But relative to the inventory they have, they barely moved the needle. They barely sold 200 more boxes by cutting the price in half less than a month after release. Of course they're going to sell a lot because they're the cheapest box on the market. By a lot, they were. Now the box, I've seen a lot of boxes now going for less than $75. But if they didn't move a lot, then we'd be even more concerned. So of course they're going to sell a couple hundred, but they're still barely moving the needle on the inventory, which is my point. That if they have such a big chunk of the print run of this set in inventory, that they're clearly thinking to themselves, we need to get rid of this, which is why they cut the price in half. That means they're going to keep this low price and probably cut it again until they get rid of those 7,000 boxes, which is 14,000 booster boxes, which is going to keep the secondary market for this box and all the LGSs under their boot because they're trying to get rid of 14,000 booster boxes. They're probably going to keep lowering the price and they're going to keep undercutting everybody, which is why the fact that they've barely sold 200 is bad, because in only selling 200, they've still got a lot of boxes to sell. They still have more than 6,000 boxes in inventory. So that's why I don't view the volume of sales in a positive light, because of course they're going to sell a couple hundred. It's the cheapest box on the market. But I think for that being so cheap, I don't think they sold enough. And I think I would even argue that a lot of people that bought those 200 boxes, it was less about the number of people buying them and more maybe people like me that bought a bunch. I bought almost 10 of them. So that's 5% right there of the 200 that were sold. I think it's more, people that are buying a lot of them because they're cheap and not a lot of people buying one, which I think is also significant. Yeah, honestly, the glimpse that I took at the LinkedIn, it looked fine to me. Tell me what I'm looking for. I guess I probably do have to sign in, though. I'm relying on the chat to fill me in on whatever's on there. TCG Player New Year's sale. I think the week of Christmas is on a Monday, right? I think that week we see it go down to $99 for collector's box. That's what I think. I think 90% of the surge of sales are in this chat right now. Probably. Another reverse. What do you guys think? If we don't get anything good out of this, you want me to open another collector's box? Another reverse. I'm just getting kind of disappointed with these pulls. No Sanrio 6 so far. I don't want to jinx it. No Mothman so far. Well, I guess we'll see what this holds. This is probably about half the box right there. But yeah, I really do feel like the surge in sales is probably like no more than 20 or 30 people. Should be Halloween Parade. All right, you guys are convincing me to potentially open another one. Make sure you hit the like button. We got 47 people in here watching. If you want me to open another box, another collector's box, 2 more booster boxes, make sure you like the video. I'm considering it because this is a pretty high number of viewers for a Metazoo stream for a set that is tanking horribly. A lot of people want me to do it. I'll do it. For you guys, I'll do it. Hodag and Kuromi. Especially the way these boxes have been going. So definitely, based on this experiment, it doesn't really seem like the pull rates are any better in these boxes. It doesn't seem like the number of hollows is better or the quality of the hollows is better. Like, we're not getting... And watch, as soon as I say this, we'll probably pull a secret rare. I mean, I agree with you guys. I don't think that just because Mike has a pretty successful history and he's got he had a lot of things going for him before he started Metazoo, has to be connected with this being a scam. I don't think it has to be interpreted negatively. But again, I'm not defending Mike. Because I definitely think while this was Mike's big idea and this is what we like, I do feel like he's a big part of the problem. Mostly from the standpoint of I think a lot of the banning and a lot of the taking stuff personal was Mike. A lot of people getting blocked on Instagram, banned from the Discord, Mike having these like snarky responses. I think a lot of that was him taking it personal where he shouldn't. And I think that was mostly him at fault when a lot of those things happened. And I think a lot of the structure of the company when it comes to like customer service, shipping deadlines, probably goes back to Mike. I see, hold on. Plastic Man says, I see a lot of comments on this Mal in the town hall. Does anyone know about who that is? I have no idea what you're talking about. Full Hollow, Forest Elemental. Gunmetal Poppy. I love the username. It says, new to the channel, I'm all in on Metazoo. Appreciate you, bro. And I love the name. Thank you, bro. The Mal person is a Metazoo YouTuber. Another reverse, man. You're definitely in the right spot, brother. And Lorcana, I'm not necessarily disagreeing with you. I'm just saying, I actually do agree. I think that the best bet for Metazoo would be if a company bought it from Mike, bought out his majority stake or whatever he has in the game, and they start running it properly, and they don't have feelings involved. They're not taking things personal. They're running it like a business, and they have the infrastructure to run it like a business that Mike doesn't seem to have. If they still kept him on for some creative capacity, or he still had some shares of the company or whatever, I think a big company like Sanrio, for example, could run it a lot better than he could. Thank you, bro. Nick is the king, dude. Hands down. Thank you, bro. I appreciate that. The only thing I'm saying is I'm not going to read too much into his LinkedIn. I don't necessarily trust him either. I don't necessarily like him either. And again, especially after that Arnold experience, it made me look bad. And by the way, I wasn't going to get anything out of that. I was doing it for Metazoo. I wanted to see the game grow. I wanted to see it succeed. So I thought this would be a big opportunity for the game. I wasn't going to get anything from this. I wasn't going to, this did nothing for me. And Mike blowing off my friend that runs the Arnold made me look bad. Victor and Poncho definitely were. Victor, Poncho, and Kelsey are my favorite 3 artists, particularly Poncho. I think Kelsey does a really good job with like the cuter type of design. Poncho does a good job with the dark style artwork. And the Nightfall Mothman that Victor did was one of my favorite versions of Mothman. Which art do you have issues with, Scaly Schisms? He seems to reference a lot with his work. Oh, yeah, that's right. He did the red ink and the blue ink, too. Victor did. Yeah, I liked Isaac, too. Yeah, I don't know as much about that stuff, the stuff that he used for references. The Spring-Heeled Jack that he ripped from the panel of Guts from the Berserk manga. It's almost 1-to-1. Kuromi number 2. I think that's our first Kuromi card of the night. This is not the Sanrio 6 one, by the way. The Sanrio 6 Kuromi is number 4. I probably will grade all the Kuromi cards, though. They'll probably just be ones that I hold on to in case things go back up. I will say one thing, though, in Argos's defense, going back to the earlier topic of his, he had more of a positive glass half full outlook on this set, the TCG player cutting the prices in half, the volume that was sold. I will agree that there seems to be a lot of interest, whether it's this set, whether it's a lot of the negative that has happened because of this set in the TCG player box. I will say from a views and comment standpoint, this is probably, aside from Topps Chrome, this is getting the most views and comments of the year. So there does seem to be interest, but a lot of it is negative. And there is a decent amount of volume. But again, that volume that people are buying from TCG Player, and again, it's only like 200 boxes, that volume of people buying that is undercutting all the hardworking LGS owners that are still supporting Metazoo. So it's kind of, there's still a negative even to the most positive aspect. I hope that it gets turned around, and I hope that Isaac or one of the artists does message me and like fill me in on what actually happened so that I can shape my own personal perspective about some of these behind the scenes things that we don't really know what's going on. That is also true. While the people got refunded that placed a pre-order for $300, all the fans that pre-ordered this box at $115, and maybe even a lot of people might have bought it at MSRP for their pre-order. I bought a box at MSRP with my pre-order. I bought a couple boxes from Fanatics at MSRP. Those people are getting screwed as well, and they're not getting refunds. So the LGSs are getting screwed. The fans that supported Metazoo and bought an early box with pre-order, they are also getting screwed, and I don't think that gets talked about enough. Someone get a hold of CopyZilla and put him on Metazoo. Does anybody have any insight into the Steve Aoki situation? There's a lot of speculation that Steve Aoki is no longer affiliated with Metazoo. He does still have Metazoo. If you go to his Instagram profile, or at least the last time I looked, which was recently, he still has Metazoo at the very top of his Instagram profile. But he just released a HeroQuest box set where there's packs of HeroQuest cards in that set that are not produced by Metazoo. He produced them himself. And we've also heard there's not going to be any future Metazoo HeroQuest sets. So that the fact that he had these trading cards in his big HeroQuest box set and they had nothing to do with Metazoo seemed significant to me. So what's the deal with Steve Aoki and Metazoo? Yeah, that was the big thing for me that made me, because I had seen people in the chat before saying that there were rumors that Steve Aoki had a falling out with Mike or had a falling out with the Bailey guy, and he's done with Metazoo. But he does still have Metazoo in his profile. But the HeroQuest thing is what made me really raise an eyebrow when he came out with his own HeroQuest cards. Like, if you're a partner in a trading card company, you would think if you're going to sell a box set that includes trading cards, you would utilize the company that you're partnered with to make those cards. Thank you, Spunkcaster. He says he's still a part of Metazoo. I think he's just doing his own thing like everyone else. Love the streams. Thanks, bro. Another reverse. Yeah, we're definitely... If this last pack does not have a Sanrio 6 or a secret rare, we're going to open another box. And by the way, I appreciate all you guys for being here. It's 2 a.m. Eastern time. I don't know what time it is for the majority of you. But these are the streams that I enjoy the most. The late night conversations. The people that are up watching a Metazoo stream, even though they know it's dying. And a Chibi Snipe. I actually really like this card. All right, we're going to get another box. The story of Metazoo is going to be lost to time if we don't figure it out. Nick, you're our guy. I appreciate you, bro. I really do. Do you think this set is similar to Seance for pools? Maybe similar. I think as far as the overall number of hollows that you're pulling, I still think you're probably pulling more on average with this, but they're not really valuable hollows. All right, give me 60 seconds. I'm going to get another collector's box. We're going to open 2 more booster boxes just for you guys, and I'm going to pee while I'm at it. So while I'm gone, keep the chat going, like the video. We're going to go ahead and crack another one of these collector's boxes. Fuck it, let's do it. back in this bitch. Full collector's box ready to go. I do it for the homies in the chat. And honestly, I told myself I'm not going to drink tonight. There's no need to drink. It's going to be a late night stream. No one's even going to watch this. We're going to have like 10 people watching. Just for the homies that are here at after 2 a.m. We're going to crack one. Because I'm actually really enjoying this conversation. I think there's a lot of good insight in the chat. We had an artist stop by. Had a lot of good discussion. I'm enjoying this one. So anybody with a drink right now, take a sip, crack another one. Let's go. Can I share the art I've done for the fan art contest? Yes. Send it to me. If you send it to me on Instagram, if you want me to, I'll show it to the stream. I'll open it up on my phone. Just let me know when you sent it and I'll check my other phone because I'm streaming on this one now. Just cracked open a bottle of pineapple Scottish whiskey. That sounds like an interesting choice. Smoke them Grizz says he's smoking here, my guy. Weed actually just became legal in Ohio as of a few days ago. Oh, yeah, dude. I've got probably 10. So here, I'll show you. Do I have any revive boards was the question. I've got probably 10 in the hallway outside. I've got a babe right there. Maybe I'll take the camera with me after this box and I'll show you guys some of my shit. I don't know if you guys can see over there or not. I've got the Mothman rug and the Frogman rug. I've got you guys pulled up right there. Most of my personal Metazoo collection is in those cases right there. I'm a big Blue Eyes collector. Got a bunch of Blue Eyes. Second row is Charizard. Bottom 2 rows are all Mothman cards. Then I've got a bunch of Frogmen on the bottom 2 rows of that. And then I've got every single Pokemon movie promo ever made in a PSA 10 is right there. Then in the top row, I've got like some Egyptian gods and like some miscellaneous Yu-Gi-Oh cards that I like Jinzo, Red Eyes, Gate Guardian is up there, Blue Eyes Toon Dragon, Black Skull Dragon, stuff like that. The movie promos are probably my favorite part of my personal collection because to me, that was the most nostalgic. That's what I remember the most about being like a really, really young kid getting into Pokemon was going to that first Pokemon movie and then the Pokemon 2000, but particularly the first one and them handing out that Ancient Mew promo at that first movie. That really, really sticks out to me in my nostalgia brain. Oh, you sent me the art. Okay, give me a second. I'll show the chat. Do you care if I show the chat or no? I won't if you don't want me to. Okay. Which account did you send it to me on? I'm looking right now. I don't see it. If you could, send it to Nick Strength and Pokemon, that Instagram page. That's a lot easier for me to find whatever it is. Nick Strength and Pokemon on Instagram. Actually, it's linked. There should be a link in the description box for that page. Appreciate you, bro. Oh yeah, dude. That was my favorite version of Pikachu too. The fat, he's like shaped like a basketball in that movie, in the movie promo. I think that's my favorite one of all time. Now he's like a little bit more slender. He's been hitting the gym. That's not the Pikachu we want. That's why the Chonky Chew from, was it Vivid Voltage? So popular. I don't know about you guys, but I need an obese Pikachu. All right, just for you guys. The late night crew. Still got like 40 people watching here. 2 in the morning. The late night crew sticks around. They get a whole extra box. Okay, before we get into that, Scaly Schisms. Okay, I've got a notification here, so I should have it. We'll show you guys his fan art submission. Got it. I got it. Okay. Oh, dude. I really like the Piazza bird. There's his Piazza. I really like that. That's fucking sick, dude. That's nice. Let me open the other one. Make sure it's not a dick pic. And Dungavin Hoover. Nice. That Piazza bird is nice, though, bro. That's clean. Awesome, bro. If you guys want to follow him, same username, no spaces, on Instagram, Scaly Schisms. Get him to at least 375. Piazza bird's dope, man. I like that a lot. Piazza bird has become one of probably my top 5 favorite beasties, especially with the native artwork. I really like the native booster box artwork for Piazza, and I really like the native Piazza card. I think they did him a lot better justice than the first edition version of Piazza. I really enjoyed the newer artwork of Piazza bird. I also have a Blue Eyes in progress on my Instagram. Awesome. Actually, hold on. I'm going to give you a follow real quick before I forget. There's the Blue Eyes in progress. My guy. Oh, bro. Lurkana, it's so funny you say that. I was talking to my girl 2 nights ago, and we were thinking about what we wanted to DoorDash. And I was trying to lobby for McDonald's adult Happy Meals so I could get that, but she wasn't going for it. So I haven't gotten it yet, but I did see that. I think it's really cool, and I am going to do it. There is a golden chase toy. I actually did not know that. I just thought I love when they do the adult Happy Meals. We did me and Chris got a bunch of the Cactus Jack little ones. Yeah, dude, I'm definitely going to be getting some of those. I tried to do it the other night, but she was like, no, we're not getting a fucking Happy Meal for dinner. We'll do all the Mothman packs first again. This is going to become our tradition. I ordered a wilderness box hoping full hollow black dog besides old Bigfoot. Nice. What's a wilderness box going for now? Like $40? I haven't bought wilderness in a while. Scaly, Wampus Cat is actually the only card that I ever pulled a serialized version from the first Top set. The Wilderness one. Not Topps Chrome. I never pulled any first sighting cards except for a Wampus Cat. And funny enough, I had never heard of a Wampus Cat before Metazoo. And when I was dating Christina, she joined a club soccer team. And the name of the team was the Wampus Cats. I had never heard of it prior to this. I thought that was so weird. I had never even heard of it. What's up, Metazoo Menace, my guy? I watched both of your videos. I watched the Wolf of Wall Street one, and I watched your most recent one right after that. Yeah, we decided to go a bonus round. We already opened the first collector's box. Didn't get anything, really. No Sanrio 6. Nothing special. No secret rares. Not a whole lot of holos. The first box we opened, we had Isaac Sky Lee in the chat. So he may have blessed us with that first box. Because the first box, we pulled 5 from one box of Isaac's Chibi Loveland Frogman. That's the most of one holo I think I might have ever pulled from one box. So we're trying to experiment here and find out if the pull rates are better, worse, or about the same in these collector's boxes. So far, to me, they seem about the same because that box that we just opened was kind of trash, the first collector's box. Both booster boxes were kind of mid. Honestly, that second booster box that we opened was ice cold, and I think maybe one of the worst that I've opened. Reverse Chibi Snipe. I know. We'll throw that in the bulk pile. Maybe our luck will turn around with this one. Kuromi number 1. Hopefully our luck turns around with this collector's box. I've got a couple more here at the house. I've got a couple more that I ordered that are on the way. But I'm not even going to tease you guys with a third box tonight. But we have plenty more to open in the future. And I really do genuinely think they're going to drop this down to $99.99 before the end of the year. Then we'll probably buy like 5 more. Yes, I did enjoy the video, and I thought it was spot on. I think I subscribed too. If I didn't, I will. I'm pretty sure I clicked subscribe. But I just searched Metazoo Menace, and that Wolf of Wall Street video was the first video that came up. Vampire workaholics loving these 4 a.m. streams. Where's the all-nighter? Oh, dude, we've done some really long streams in the past. I'm trying to think. I think my record might have been 7 hours. Yeah, Menace has really good videos. I highly recommend you guys checking out Metazoo Menace's YouTube channel. I think the longest stream we did, it wasn't an evolution stream. And this was like at the peak of Pokemon. So I kept going because the views were so high on the live stream. I think this was at the peak of Pokemon. Sam's Club had these collector's boxes that had like a 3-pack of the Pokeballs that have like 4 packs in them. And they were really cheap. And it was like a lot of the modern Pokemon stuff that had just came out. And I bought like the whole pack. I bought like 50 of them. So we had a shitload of packs. It took a while to open each one because it was in a big package. Then it was in a Pokeball. Then it was in the packs. I think that might be the longest stream we ever did. And And I think that one got like 10,000 views. And then there was a night where me and Chris went to like every Target in the area looking for those little mini tins that had an Evolutions pack, because Evolutions packs at one point were going for like $50 a pack on a lot of like Whatnot and streamer channels. So we went and bought a shitload of these mini tins that had Evolutions packs in them. Like, I'm talking hundreds. Then I had booster boxes of Evolutions, and I think we opened that for maybe 4 or 5 hours. And those were prior to longest streams. Yeah, I think that's why I bought it. I think there was Evolutions in those Sam's Club tins. I think that's why I bought so many. And actually, Evolutions, another Kuromi, but this one is number 2. Actually, Evolutions is holding up pretty well for a booster box. I think they're still going for over $600, even though the value of most of the hits has gone way down. The boxes are still not cheap. Because even back then, at the very peak, I think I was buying them for like $1,000 a box. That was a little bit reckless of me, though. For almost an entire year, I opened a box of Evolutions at $1,000 a box, maybe more in some cases, every single Friday night for like an entire year. I spent like 50 grand on Evolutions that year, and still never pulled a full holo Charizard that graded a PSA 10. I graded like probably 30 or 40 PSA 9s of that Charizard. And at this point, I could probably buy the PSA 10 Evolutions Charizard for close to $1,000. But that was like the most reckless that I got in the beginning of this channel. Was an Evolutions box every single week, plus extras. We'd get the tins. We would get those Kanto Power collector's boxes that I think had like 10 packs of Evolutions. Another full holo. We were going pretty deep on Evolutions, and still to this day, I have not graded myself a PSA 10 of the OG Charizard in a full holo from Evolutions. Those were the days, and we would get fucked up on those streams because we'd be streaming for hours. That was the most Evolutions I've ever seen open. We opened a lot of it. I know I spent close to 50 grand on just the booster boxes, but there were a lot of streams that we did those other products that contained Evolutions that we spent a lot of money on too. But we were all really into that set because Chris wasn't into Pokemon. I mostly did it with Chris, and I was dating Bridget at the time. And Bridget was familiar with like some of the early Pokemon, like the first starters, the first generation. Chris was mostly familiar with that generation, and Evolutions was like a really good representation of that. And it also came out around the time that Pokemon Go did, and we all played Pokemon Go. That was like the Pokemon Go set, because Pokemon had all this hype from that summer of 2016 when Pokemon Go came out. So they thought, let's do a 20th anniversary set that gets all these people that are playing Pokemon Go to buy it for nostalgia. It was a good set. And I may or may not have a box or two that I want to do a Christmas stream with of Evolutions. Another Kuromi number 2. Steam Siege sealed box is 300 to 400 or more. Sealed product is king, but I prefer, I think PSA 10 slabs. As far as display purposes, I would rather display a whole wall of PSA 10s than to have one booster box that might have no hits in it. Yeah, Greg was there for those streams basically since day one. I still see Pokey Kobe stop in every now and then, but a lot of the people that I gave a wrench to and I made a moderator was during that time. Oh, bro, I've definitely been there. Scaly. Those Korean Yu-Gi-Oh boxes are such a good deal. I used to I don't know if I opened them on stream or not. But when I got back into Yu-Gi-Oh 8 years ago, 10 years ago, I started buying a bunch of those Korean booster boxes. And they were like, what, 25 bucks? They're probably still close to that now. Those were fun to open. I didn't watch Argos's full video, no. He pulled 2 chibi what? They're only about 20 bucks now for an LOB Korean. Bro, that's a good deal. Well, I guess maybe now they dropped because the 25th anniversary reprints just came out. And those are still pretty cheap. Oh, chibi auras. That's the other thing, too, is I still, to this day, have not pulled any aura cards or that tarot card. There's like a field of flowers. It's like a tarot card from this set. And by this point, I've opened, hell, over 20 boxes. Yeah, definitely. I've opened more than 20 boxes of this set as of this stream. And I have never pulled any aura card or the tarot cards. Or the tarot card. I think there's only one. So they are pretty hard to hit. And for 20 boxes plus, we've now pulled a total of 5 Sanrio 6. So the odds are still averaging out to be about the same. It's 1 in every 4 boxes now. But if we open these and we don't get a Sanrio 6, it's right back to that 1 in every 5 boxes, even if you get it from the collector's box. Yeah, those auras are still going for like a couple $100, right? Yeah, Native has a way better spread with the auras, for sure. Are they that low? Oh, wait, was this our reverse? Yeah. 120 to 130. You know, honestly, Chatruse says, what would have happened if TCG eBay had not dumped? Would the Sanrio 6 prices keep up? I think for a while they would have, yeah. I think there's no denying that based on what I've done, what I've opened, what I've seen other people open, they are extremely hard to hit. Should be Mothman reverse. I think if the value of this box had held around $90 to $100, I think those Sanrio 6 really would have held up in value pretty well. We all want Legacy, bro. I just don't think we're going to get it in December. It just seems like we're not. Reverse. Kuromi and Wendigo. How many people in the chat think we're going to get Legacy by the end of the year? I'm not convinced. Kuromi reverse. They're likely to announce it by the end of the year, and then release it like 3 months later. And again, I think we need to point out, it is already late. When you pre-ordered Legacy, it originally said shipping by September. By the end of September, it would ship. Then they pushed it to December, so it's already late. And we're not even going to get it, I don't think, by the extended deadline of December. Chibi, Kuromi, and Grim Reaper. It's been a cold box, man. Oh my God, did he really? Argos thinks Legacy is going to be delayed till February. That's honestly unacceptable. And that's why I'm trying to be so outspoken in my videos when it comes to the negative stuff. Because I feel like somebody really needs to hold their feet to the fire with these missed deadlines. It's not okay. It's just not. I mean, I'm a couple $1,000s into Legacy, and I have no idea when or if I'm going to get it. My Melody, Full Hollow. I bought a pretty good amount of Legacy spell books and blister packs directly from the distributor a few months ago. And when I bought them, they said they were expecting them in December. But like I said, when I also bought the Kuromi boxes from Golden Distribution, and they gave us a bunch of updates on the Kuromi boxes when they were running late, when they were expecting them to arrive in the warehouse, when they were expecting them to ship. Like weeks leading up to this box getting to the distributor, they gave us a bunch of updates before release. We've heard nothing in any shape or form from the distributor about Legacy. No updates, no expectation of when it's going to be in the warehouse, no expectation of when it's going to ship. Just that initial push to December is all they've given us. Scaly says, you know what gets me? Why did they focus on making merch like napkins and Christmas? Why did they make napkins? They made the wrapping paper. I don't remember napkins. I agree, Joker. And especially Argos. I don't know how Argos can still be so positive and like glass half full, optimistic about so much stuff with Metazoo. When you got a guy like Argos, and again, I think he's the most trustworthy, reliable, genuine dude to buy from. But when you've got a guy like him ordering 1,000 booster boxes of this Hello Kitty set, and he doesn't even know, he's spending at least $50,000 on this set. Probably the biggest chunk of money out of most people. And he has no idea when it's going to get here, if it's delayed, why it's delayed, what's the reason that we're waiting. He didn't know when it was coming in November, and he spent over $50,000 on this set. And he doesn't know when Legacy is coming, and I'm sure he did the same thing with Legacy. Like, for those big spenders like that are really supporting the brand and really, you know, that's a pretty significant chunk of change to have no idea when you're going to get what you're ordered. And again, the pink boxes, even Argos was surprised that all the boxes of the 1,000 boxes that he bought, they were all the same color. He didn't even know why he only had one color. I think that's unacceptable. Up until he received the product, he still thought there was a chance that he would get a mix of both color boxes. That lack of communication is just like totally it's just, you can see the pain in his eyes. Reverse. Did they ever send the promos for ordering online? Which promos are you talking about? The Black Friday promos? As far as I know, they haven't. I haven't gotten mine. Aquila Bapa. They put fear in the customer, and the customer has not held them accountable. That's true. I appreciate that, bro. Thank you, the catcher. I kind of am in a very unique position when it comes to my involvement with Metazoo because I'm not an LGS. I'm not buying boxes to sell them. I'm buying boxes, and I'm buying a lot of boxes, but I'm buying them to open them, and I don't expect to make any money off of opening them. So I'm spending a lot of money, but I just enjoy to open it. So I don't really have anything to lose because I'm not spending more than I can afford to lose. I'm spending the amount that I think would be enjoyable to open. So I kind of have a unique perspective on it because I'm not relying on flipping the boxes, and I don't rely on Metazoo cutting off my partnership status or whatever, some of these other people are. I just like to open it. I've got some expendable income, and I buy as much as I think I want to open. So there's really nothing they can do for me that's going to make me not want to speak my mind because I'm not a partner. I don't need partnership status. I'm not trying to sell boxes. I don't need to follow the rules that they've laid out. I'm really just a customer at the end of the day. Chibi Mike the chicken. And I think that kind of puts me in a very unique position because I don't need free product. There's really no amount of money they can pay me to, say, stop being negative. I just enjoy opening it, and I buy as much as I want to open, and that's it. I just happen to buy a lot and open a lot. Kuromi and My Melody. I really like this card too. But this has been an ice cold box. And I will say I do respect Argos because I'm not gonna put $50,000 in a Metazoo core set. He's got balls of steel doing that, so I got to give him some respect for that. I'm not gonna buy 1,000 booster boxes and hope that it goes well. Because then you've really got a lot to lose. Kuromi and Forest Elemental. Yeah, he's a genuine good dude for sure. Too bad the 5 that always say good morning in the Discord main chat don't agree as much. What do you mean? Yeah, Argos is a cool dude. I don't think very many people have an issue with him. And like I said, especially recently, I feel like I've noticed his videos have been growing in terms of his criticism of Metazoo. He's not a complete yes man. He does speak his mind. He does say some of the things that are wrong. Kuromi number 1. I think he's definitely gotten more critical in the last 6 months or so. If it wasn't for your channel and Argos, I wonder how many of us would even care anymore. Yeah, that's true. Because when I got into Metazoo, I wasn't even making Metazoo videos. I was watching like probably a dozen other YouTubers that made Metazoo content, including Rudy, including several other channels that I was just watching. I wasn't even talking about Metazoo. I like to watch it. And all those channels, for the most part, have completely stopped talking about Metazoo or making Metazoo content really at all. So there's really nothing to even watch. That's why I started making so much more Metazoo content, because I enjoy it. My friends enjoy it. We talk about it like in our group chat as friends. We follow it very closely. So I just talk about all the same stuff that I talk about with my friends on my channel, because I know that I want Metazoo content and it's not out there. And I feel like there needs to be someone putting out some Metazoo content. So I kind of stepped into that. There were so many people defending Metazoo for ages, but the moment things dipped around Wilderness and UFO, they bounced. Definitely a lot of people have left. There's no denying it. There was a lot of decently big YouTube channels, maybe 3,000 to 5,000 subscribers, which is a lot for a Metazoo channel, that just don't post anything at all anymore about Metazoo. Last pack of this box, My Melody Reverse. All right, I gotta pee again, but we'll get into this last box right after that. Hopefully we pull something good, because this has been a really ice cold opening so far. 3 boxes into this, no Sanrio 6. I'm not convinced that this set is better than a regular booster box. All right, I'm back. This is why I could never be a full-time streamer. I've got a small bladder. I pee all the time. I just can't do it. All right, this will be the last box of the night. There better be something in here. But this will definitely not be the last time we stream this opening. Like I said, I've got a couple more here in the house. I've got a couple more on order that I'm waiting for. And I fully anticipate they're going to drop the price again on these. Then I'll probably buy a bunch more and we'll keep opening them. I will honestly probably open until we pull a secret rare. If the prices keep dropping, and if we get into the territory of $50 a box, I'll probably keep ripping this until we pull one. Not a ton of water. Whenever I drink alcohol, I've got to pee like immediately after I finish a drink. But as far as like the other sets that are out right now, Seance, UFO, Wilderness, Native, a lot of those boxes have become very cheap, but I don't like the secret rare as much. I do like Wilderness because I've got the golden tickets in there, the gold, silver, and bronze tickets. But I've already opened a shitload of Wilderness. and I didn't pull any secret rares. I'm not crazy about the Green Man. I really want one of the tickets, but Native and UFO and Seance having like 10 different secret rares numbered out of 10 or numbered out of 12 or whatever, that's not as appealing to me. This is the only Mothman secret rare that's ever been in a core set. The only serialized Mothman that's ever been in a core set. So if this box continues to drop, this will be the box that I'm chasing to pull my own secret rare from. The only other secret rare that I pulled myself is a blue ink from 2nd edition, and that did it for me. This is really the only thing right now on the market that's dropping in price that I want to continue to just rip a bunch of. Like Wilderness, I already did an opening where I ripped over, I think, 500 packs of Wilderness in one stream when Card Shop Live really liquidated their Wilderness, and I didn't pull any secret rares, so that kind of burnt me out. But I did pull like 10 Prism Auras. Did you see PokeRevs do a set? I did see that. Yeah. PokeRev has definitely been getting into working out, and I love that. I think he's also sponsored by Young LA. They sponsor me as well. Most of my closet right now is Young LA clothing. They send me like $1,000 gift card. I haven't even done a single ad for them. They send me like $1,000 gift card to Young LA like every week, just so that I'll wear it whenever I'm in public. So I buy most of their drops, and I think they probably did the same thing with PokeRev, because he wears Young LA in most of his videos now. Which is also the reason why most of my friends for Christmas, when we did Friendsgiving in Friendsmas, they all got Young LA duffel bags, Young LA water bottles, Young LA hoodies, because they keep sending me these gift cards. All right, Scaly, good to see you. Get a good night's rest. I appreciate you stopping by, and I think your fan artwork is fantastic. All right, we're going to sort out all the Mothman packs again. I feel like there just has to be something in this box. No Sanrio 6 tonight yet. Really, honestly, the pull rate for the hollows hasn't been that good either. I feel like we've gotten a lot of reverse hollows in these boxes. I feel like there's something hiding in this box. Hopefully there's something hiding in this box. I appreciate you, bro. I hope to see you on all the future streams. Full hollow Wahila. I feel like at the very least, even if we're getting bodied tonight and we're not getting very good pull rates, we may have dispelled the rumor that there's better hits or better hit rates in these collector's boxes, because that doesn't seem to be the case. It seems about the same as the regular boxes. Actually, quite frankly, it kind of seems worse. Actually, if we don't pull a Sanrio 6 out of this box, it will be worse. Because after this box, this will be box number 6 that I've opened from the collector's boxes. And previously, my Sanrio 6 hit rate had been 1 in 5. if we don't pull one from this box, it's going to be 1 in 6 from the collector's boxes. So from the regular booster boxes, I opened 15 and I pulled 3. Sanrio 6, 1 in 5. I opened 6 of these tonight in the last stream, and I've only pulled 1 so far. So it'll be 1 in 6 for the collector's boxes if we don't pull one from this box. Metazoo Menace, you missed earlier. A lot of people were talking in the chat earlier that are participating in the fan art contest, and they were saying they don't even want the full-time artist gig. They just want to see their art on a card. They don't want like that level of responsibility. So it'll be interesting to see what happens with the fan art thing. Because I feel like there might be a good chance that whoever wins doesn't even want to be a full-time Metazoo artist. They just want to see something they drew on a Metazoo card. Kuromi reverse. It's almost 3 a.m. Eastern time. We still got 42 people hanging in here. Thank you guys. And honestly, yeah, I agree with what you just said, Cheese. It makes me wonder if they had a very small amount of submissions and why they extended it to, because they extended it a whole month, right? To January 10th. Which I was happy about because that gives me time to draw some more stuff because I'm going to enter it too. But if I win, which I probably won't because I'm not that good of an artist, but if I won, I wouldn't want to be a full-time Metazoo artist. I just want to see my art on one Metazoo card. That's it. My Melody and Chibi Iowa Dragon. Full holo. Oh, I'm sure they did have hundreds of entries. I've looked at the if you type in the hashtag on Instagram for the Metazoo fan art contest, there's a lot of people that have made a submission. But I don't think there's a lot of people, because I think there's a couple factors to consider here. I don't think there's a lot of people that have the time to become a full-time Metazoo artist and focus on drawing for these future sets. And I don't think there's a lot of people that need the money. Like, I think most people that collect Metazoo, because it's definitely like a luxury item, they already have money. They already have good jobs. They don't want to dedicate time to something that's not going to pay very well. Full time as a Metazoo artist, which is the prize. I think I have some of my shit. I used to draw a lot when I was in high school, and I took a lot of art classes in high school, and I haven't really drawn since. And I started to draw for the Cryptober stuff, but I didn't end up finishing. I'm trying to see what I've got here. That was my Wendigo. Shauna Hawk. Got a buff Mothman. This was, what was this one? The Stakini Owl. Sentry Box Devil. That was one of my Mothmen. I think what else I had in here. There's another one to go. That was I tried my best at a Chibi Salem's Witch and I gave up. And I really like this Mothman that I did, but I'm trying to do I'm working on some watercolor painting ones for the fan art competition. I just haven't finished them yet. Reverse Lantern. Yeah, I try to make my version of Mothman have a little bit of like a superhero vibe to him. Give him some muscles. I really liked my Wendigo, but I never did. I don't even think I posted it because it wasn't in line with the Metazoo theme. Like, this wasn't how they drew Wendigo in Metazoo, and they wanted you to like stick with their version of the art. But I really liked how this turned out and like the profile that he had here. I thought this was like a really creepy Wendigo. I really liked how that turned out, but it's definitely not the Metazoo style of Wendigo. But I do have some cool ideas for Mothman. I'm doing a couple different variations of Mothman for the fan art contest. Another reverse. I think you guys will really like them when they're done. I don't think I've ever even painted in watercolor before, but I'm trying to learn how. And I think some of them look pretty decent. Your Wendigo is more spooky than the Halloween stuff. I appreciate that. That one I was just like totally freehand sketching. And then the profile that was like just starting to materialize, I really liked. So I just kept going with that profile. Like a creepy, lanky, like really, it looked like a really skinny dog kind of in the profile. And I thought it was like a good fit for what the Wendigo is actually supposed to be. Full hollow. I feel like this box hasn't been good either, man. We gotta get something out of here. Reverse Chibi Snipe. The box Argos open had 2 chibi auras in it. Yeah, Metazoo Menace just told us that. That's impressive because as of tonight, I'll have opened 21 boxes. I've not pulled a single one of the auras. That would be cool. Nick Strength and Pokemon or Nick Strength and Metazoo coins, like the Nick Strength and Power ones. My buddy Chris, actually for Christmas, I collect silver coins, and he got me a 5-ounce set of Exodia. So it's got like the head, the arms, the legs. Each coin is 1 ounce of pure silver, and it completes Exodia in like a nice box set. I thought that was a really cool gift. I think he got it from AppMex. AppMex always has like really cool. If you're into collecting coins and bullion, AppMex always has really cool variations of silver and gold coins. Yeah, bro, I had one. The Blue Eyes that they dropped a while ago. I bought one at release for $1,000, and I had somebody offer me $5,000 for it, and I couldn't say no, so I sold it. The serialized Platinum Blue Eyes that Yu-Gi-Oh came out with a while ago. And I think they're still, you guys can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think they're still hanging out at like $2,500 to $3,000. So if you bought one for $1,000, your investment was good. Like, I'm talking immediately after I bought it, because they sold out really quick. I'm talking just within a month or two after me paying $1,000 and then receiving it. I got an offer for $5,000. I was like, man, I can't turn that down. To 5x $1,000 in just a month was just too good of a deal. I have a video on this channel of me unboxing that card. I think it's got a good amount of views too. But to make $4,000 profit off of one card that you've only owned for a month, I just couldn't turn it down. It was just too good. And honestly, I think a lot of people only found out about that Blue Eyes after it was already sold out. Like when people started getting them and making videos about them, and then like more people found out, it was too late. They were already sold out. And I think most people found out about the card after the fact. So then the demand went way up. And that's when people started trying to buy it on eBay. And when I got that offer, I was like, I just can't turn this down. It's too good. It's the easiest $4,000 I ever made. And don't get me wrong, I liked the card. It was really fucking sick looking, but I just couldn't say no to that. That was one of my best TCG returns that I've sold on eBay. So there was that, and then I sold a Nightfall Revive Mothman PSA 10. I bought for like $1,100 or $1,200 in a PSA 10. I bought it on eBay, and someone offered me maybe 5 months later $7,000 for it. So I had to sell it for that. I mean, that was one of my biggest flips. And then I'm trying to think of what the trading card company, Cryptic TCG. So the owner of that company reached out to me a couple years ago, and he sent me a box of like, it was called 66 something, but it was like their first iteration of a booster box. And I held on to it. I didn't open it. And someone offered me like $4,500 for that box that I got for free. And that was one of my biggest flips as well. The Riddle 66 box. That was exactly it. So he sent me that. He sent me a bunch of like test and sample cards. I sold those too. And I never opened that 66 box. I thought, this is cool. This is like their earliest version of a booster box. So I put it in my safe, held on to it. And then someone messaged me on Instagram, because I think I talked about having that box on my channel. They're like, I'll give you $4,500 for it. I was like, dude, I got it for free. Done. So that Blue Eyes, that Mothman, and that Cryptic box, between the three of them, what's that, like almost, it's over $15,000. Those are like my biggest single flips. Man, we're kind of striking out tonight. There better be something left in these packs. But yeah, the guy that bought the Nightfall Revive Mothman PSA 10, he also bought a Kickstarter Mothman from Chris, my buddy Chris, PSA 10, for $6,000, which obviously way above market value for my card and for Chris's. And we looked up the guy's name, because obviously it says your name when you check out on eBay. And he's like a crypto whale that, and he made us like a best offer at the same time. And it was like 4 in the morning when he made the offer. So we figured it was this rich crypto guy that was getting into Metazoo, and he was probably drunk or high in the middle of the night making offers on cards, and we both accepted, and he paid. And I really like that the Revive Mothman card, but I'm not going to turn that down either. $7,000 off of something that I bought that same year for $1,000. And then we just rolled that money right back into more Metazoo to open. So that's why I feel like I'm not super concerned. I'm not concerned about getting free product from Metazoo. I think I've done really well about selling into the market. I've had some really good deals. Also, I sold at the very peak a PSA 10 first edition Mothman for $2,000. Now they're going for like 130, 140. So I feel like I've made some good money on Metazoo. If anything, I might be even right now at the worst case. So I'm not super concerned about Metazoo dying, Metazoo going to zero. I haven't lost a bunch of money on Metazoo. I've made some pretty good money on Metazoo, and that's why I don't need free Metazoo product. I don't need money from Metazoo, and you're never going to see a biased Metazoo video from me because Metazoo paid me off or I'm relying on them. I think to this day, that's the highest price anyone has ever paid for a first edition Mothman in a PSA 10. I think I had the record sale of that card. I honestly even felt bad when I was packaging that card up to ship it. I was like, man, this guy, I mean, he must have really wanted it because it was an auction too. It wasn't an offer. He bid up to $2,000 and paid for it. So it's not like he made an offer drunk or whatever and he was constantly bidding on it and it got up to 2,000 and he paid. But I even kind of felt bad when I was shipping it out. I was like, dude, there's no way this card is worth $2,000. But it was at the very peak. And at the time, first edition booster boxes were going for over 1,000. But honestly, my conscience, I felt bad even shipping it because I was like, man, this guy, I even thought he overpaid. But he must have just really wanted it. Man, I'm getting so disappointed from these boxes. Is that a reverse? Yep. These have been some really cold boxes. How many packs we got left here? Like 10? We need a Sanrio 6. We need a secret rare. Another reverse. This is making me not want to buy more of these. Another reverse. I think, though, at a bare minimum, at least this video might do a service to people because I think this might dispel the idea that there's better odds in these boxes. The fact that we've opened 6 of them now and only pulled one Sanrio 6, and all 6 of them really have been pretty reverse hollow heavy. No secret rare. And they were orders placed at separate times, so there's not clumping involved here. These weren't like the same batch. I bought these all separately, not all in one go. So they ship separately. They're not all like consecutive boxes. Did you really? You bought a PSA 10 Sam Sinclair from me for $188.50. I think I just sold one for like 20 bucks. But I appreciate you buying that. By the way, my eBay link is in the description box below. I've had a lot of Metazoo auctions. I think I still have some up right now, but I've had a lot of them ending really, really low. I'm obviously honoring all of them. I've shipped all of them. No matter what you win a card from me from, I'll never cancel your order. I'll never complain. You can get some deals right there, right now on my eBay. Because I'm willing to take the risk of listing every Metazoo PSA 10. I never list anything as a buy it now unless it's like a big value secret rare or like a really big hit. But I actually enjoy taking the risk of listing Metazoo PSA 10s as an auction and just seeing what happens. And whatever they go for, they go for. My eBay is NSP Shop. There's a link in the description. And I'm going to be listing some more stuff tonight. But I know a lot of people right now are not willing to take the risk on a Metazoo PSA 10 auction. Their listing is buy it now or best offer. Because a lot of Metazoo auctions are not doing very well. Let me see. I'll show you guys. We'll get down to the last pack here. And I'll show you guys some of the stuff that I've got sitting here that I'm about to list. I think that's a reverse, man. Come on. Reverse Chibi Mothman. 2 packs left. Dude, you can buy lots of 10s for less than 20 bucks right now, let alone 40 bucks. This is one of the stacks. I've got a bunch of stacks that I have to list, but this is one of the stacks I'm looking at right now. Second edition Moth, PSA 10. These will probably all be up either today or tomorrow. Cryptid Cam Frog 9. These are probably the 9s here. I think there's a lot of Topps Chrome in this one. Mothman Refractor 9. That'll probably go for less than 10 bucks. This will go for less than 10 bucks. Thousand Dragon 8. Don't worry, there's some 10s in here. The Gassy 10. The first time I sold one of these, it went for over $100. I think like 120 or 125. I've got a bunch of these in a PSA 10 that I still have to sell. Right now, they're going for about 30 bucks from the first edition release event boxes. Dimac Hodag, PSA 10. These are going for about $10 to $15. PSA 10, Topps Chrome Mothman. The Marketplace promo pack, bonus pack, Nanook promo, PSA 10. I haven't sold one of these yet, but I'm going to be listing this on my next one. Griddle Greaser Pete, probably a $15. Kai Green PSA 10 mini card. I don't know what that'll go for. Quetzal 10, maybe a $25 card. Wendigo 25 to 30. Oh, that's a 9. And a 10, 25 to 30. Gate Guardian 9. Phil Heath 10, probably a $10 card. Genzo 8, probably a $15 card. This has been doing decent. The Blastoise Classic Collection, I've got a few of these in a 10. Probably a $40 card. Another Kai Green 10. Nightfall Mothman, $45, $50 card. Random Charmander. And then the Arnold PSA 10, another Wendigo. But yeah, that's the next stack that I'm going to list. So make sure you follow my eBay if you don't already. I'm sure they're going to go very low, and I'm sure you guys are going to get really good deals on them. Man, another fucking reverse. Last pack magic. Can we get something from this last pack, please? Tiny Hug. Chibi Quetzal. Cryptid Carnival Fireworks. Chibi Mothman. Kuromi and Chibi Grim. My Melody. And our last pack is just a full holo Chibi Wahila. So not a great opening. We opened 4 boxes tonight from the collector's boxes of TCG Player. No Sanrio 6, no secret rares, and honestly, a lot more reverse holos than holos. So at least we may have dispelled the myth that there's much better pull rates in these. But man, thank you guys for stopping by. One hell of a night. Great discussion. Great hanging out with you guys, as always. Make sure you like, subscribe, all that good stuff. And I'll catch you on the next stream. I love you guys, and I appreciate you guys hanging out with me till